So right now in Las Vegas, the Tupac Shakur murder trial is taking place. An individual named Dwayne Davis is the defendant, and he's being prosecuted basically under a felony murder theory. Not that he was the gunman, but that he planned and facilitated the shooting that ended Tupac Shakur's life, ultimately on September 13th, 1996. I remember exactly where I was when that happened in Colorado, and it's very significant for people of my generation. It matters hugely. I remember growing up in Atlanta, listening to Tupac. So many different events in my life, tied to his music, always brings back memories when I listen to it. Me Against the World, clearly the best rap album of all time. Very unique, one of a kind, and spoke to the struggles, not just of African Americans, but of people in difficult circumstances. I think across both racial and even economic boundaries. Let me tell you sort of the theory of this case and factually what is the prosecutors allege happened. I'll be covering this more going forward as a 13-plus year trial attorney who stood in front of a jury many times. I'll make it simple. I'll focus on what matters. So Dwayne Davis is the individual, as I mentioned, being prosecuted. He allegedly procured the weapon that was used to then shoot Tupac Shakur. This related to the beating of Orlando Anderson at the MGM Grand. And that, car, the white Cadillac that pulled up next to Tupac, from which he was shot. I mean, a lot of this stuff, there's disputes and stories over time, but it's fairly consistent, ultimately, as the prosecution sees it, and I think that's accurate. Now, what the weird thing that you have here is how did this case come out now? And let me get into this real briefly. So you had Dwayne Davis confess under a federal proffer agreement, basically like, an immunity agreement, and he repeated that to the Las Vegas police in 2009. But then in 2017 and 18, he discussed it in a documentary. He published, a book. He wouldn't shut up about it. And so that was outside of that immunity/proffer agreement. And so then his home was searched, and they brought charges in 2023. And now it starts in 2026. This is something so historically relevant. And it's just something I hope that there is closure brought to this one way or another. Some of the people involved in this situation that are in that white Cadillac, 2 of them are dead, Orlando Anderson and another one, DeAndre Smith. So we'll see what happens. Keep it here. I'm going to cover this more. It means a lot to me and many others of my vintage, if you will.